And I got a third question here from Daniel Gomes.1. It's probably just Daniel Gomez. How do you develop precision and accuracy on subdivisions and chops?
Precision and accuracy with subdivision and chops. So we'll do accuracy first. That's actually a lot easier. So accuracy is a weird one, man. I forget who I asked years ago. I was at a clinic, and I asked whoever this person was. It might have been Chris Coleman. I can't remember. I was asking about, like, the problem I had with accuracy was, and this is like physical accuracy. It might not be exactly what you're asking, but it's kind of an interesting point. We've never talked about this before. I would have double strokes, like doot-doot with the right hand. And the first stroke would land right where I wanted it, but the second one off of the rebound would like move to the right or to the left. So it wasn't like straight up and down. It was like one came down and the other came at an angle. It was like that sort of thing, and which is kind of an accuracy problem. How do I hit twice in the same spot? And the piece of advice that I got was like, you need to watch the tip of the drumstick and decide that it's going to hit in the same spot twice. It was literally, the advice was like, pay attention and watch what you're doing. And it was like, oh, I realized I wasn't like choosing to make it go right where I wanted to. So that fixed a lot of accuracy problems for me. Like, look at the tip of the drumstick and decide where it's going to land. Exactly. And it actually does improve your accuracy a lot. So that's just like focus is sort of the message there. So for accuracy, yeah, focus on where things are physically touching the stick and the drum head. But when it comes to subdivision and like you might have meant more of like a sonic accuracy, like really nailing down on the subdivision. One thing I think a lot of people skip that I tried to address heavily in my subdivision masterclasses, there's 5 of them, it's 5 hours of subdivision work, is not just sticking in one particular subdivision, but focusing on the relationships between 2 different subdivisions. So take 2 easy ones, for example, 8th notes and 16th notes. Like, they have a relationship to each other, and part of your comfort level in 16th notes, it's not just about you playing 16th notes all day against a click drum, though that's a helpful thing to do. It's also about how those 16th notes have a relationship to 8th notes, and do you understand their relationship? Now, mathematically, you can understand the relationship. That's the easy part, right? It's just like, you got 8th notes, we'll double them up, and then now you're in 16th notes. So it's easy to understand how they depend on each other in that way. But the sound of them, if I give you 8th notes, can you simultaneously hear the 16th notes inside of them, right? So when these subdivisions begin touching one another and you begin to hear the relationships that they each have like this new value that's relative to the other subdivision. So it's like they depend on each other in a weird way. So how's a better way to say this? If you don't know what 16th note triplets sound like, and you also don't know what 32nd notes sound like, they can get mixed up. Right. You hear them and it's just a blurry, fast notes. That's what they sound like. But as you begin to know them individually, here's what 32nd notes sound like. Here's what 16th note triplets sound like. There's like a contrast there. And knowing the sound of one helps you know the sound of the other. Like, they have this weird relationship dependency on them in a strange way. I don't know that I'm saying this the best way that I know how to, but anyway, the point of all of this is that you should focus on switching from one subdivision to another, because the contrast is something that helps tighten them up. You can hear when you go from sextuplets to octuplets and you did something wrong, and it's because there's like this comparison thing where if you're just in sextuplet world all day, I don't know, it's almost like you get blinded to like what makes these so unique and so special. It's the comparison that makes them sort of stand out. So in the subdivision master classes, each one focuses on, or rather 102, 103, 104, and 105. Each one of those focuses on 2 subdivisions that have a relationship. And what I do is take you from one to the other within a single measure of music. So like there's, let's just say 10 exercises in one of the master classes that involve 16th note triplets and 32nd notes alternating back and forth in the same measure. And so you have to switch gears like a transmission. You're switching gears back and forth, and in that process, you really learn what actually makes them so different, and that ends up making you more articulate in each one of those subdivisions respectively. So long, kind of a complicated answer, but subdivisions are complicated. There's a lot to talk about with subdivisions, and it's sort of like the core fundamental substrate of drumming itself. Like, good luck playing without them. It's like saying you want to write a book without words. Like, you you're going to need some words, dude. Like, I mean, words would be a little more like rudiments in this example. But you have to have subdivisions. You're playing in them whether you like it or not. So the better your understanding of them, and the more you practice them, again, in contrast to one another, the better of a relationship you build to each respective subdivision. And then ultimately they'll get cleaner and more accurate, which is, I think, is what you're asking. So, sorry, long-winded, complicated answer, but
no, it's perfect.
Such are subdivisions. Thanks for watching this clip from the Orlando Drummer Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are in any way looking to make yourself a better drummer online, which you probably are, it's why you click this video, make sure to click this link up here, wherever it is, orlandodrummer.com. It's an online drum school in the style of Netflix. Trust me, you will find something you like, but don't take my word for it. 7-day free trial at the link in the description. Make sure to sign up for that. See if you like it. We'd love to have you on board. Thanks, guys.